I will now make a statement in my national capacity. I thank SRSG Bintu Keita and Secretary General of the East African Community, Dr. Peter Matuki, for their briefings. I also thank Ms. Rebecca Kabuo for presenting civil society's perspective to the Council. Likewise, I also welcome the presence of the DRC Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister to our meeting today. India remains concerned at the volatile security situation in the eastern DRC. The activities of armed groups have continued unabated, resulting in killings of civilians, displacement of the population, and a dire humanitarian situation. The M23 group is expanding its territorial control in the eastern DRC, and its movement towards Goma is indeed a matter of deep concern. In the past, we have seen how Goma's capture by armed groups had led to large-scale devastation and casualties. This long-drawn cycle of violence in the eastern DRC cannot continue in perpetuity. Support to armed groups, external and internal, must cease immediately. We also note with concern the increase in scale of attacks carried out by the allied democratic forces, including the use of improvised explosive devices. The threat of terrorism in the DRC and the region cannot be ignored either, given the established terrorist links within armed groups. Lasting solutions to conflict hinge on enduring diplomatic efforts. We welcome the role played by the wider region in opening up the political space for dialogue. The decision taken at the Luanda mini-summit held last month must be honored by all armed groups, including the M23. The Luanda roadmap and the Nairobi process provide a promising framework for dialogue and talks. We expect the countries in the region, in particular the DRC and Rwanda, to take full advantage of these constructive efforts. We also welcome the allocation of $6 million to begin the pilot phase of the Program for Disarmament, Demobilization, Community Recovery and Stabilization projects in the Eastern DRC. We underscore the importance of a long-term commitment to outcomes, deeper community participation and transparent processes while implementing these projects. In this context, the development by MONUSCO of a communication strategy to sensitize stakeholders of the PDDRCS program will be critical. Colleagues, MONUSCO peacekeepers have been working in an extremely challenging environment, both operationally and politically. The lack of clarity in the mission's mandate and its creative interpretation has added to existing complexities. This has also widened the gap between people's expectations and MONUSCO's delivery. As a result, peacekeepers have been bearing the brunt of anti-UN sentiments among the people and authorities of the DRC. It is clear the mission's credibility has been dented. We also reiterate the importance of implementation of Resolution 2589 to deter a culture of impunity through greater accountability for crimes against peacekeepers. As one of the largest troop-contributing countries, we are cognizant of the challenges to peacekeeping in the eastern DRC and are fully committed to the implementation of MONUSCO's mandate. As we discuss the upcoming renewal of MONUSCO's mandate, we acknowledge the efforts made so far towards a steady transition and the joint transition plan agreed between MONUSCO and the DRC authorities. However, the assessment of progress should be realistic. The situation on the ground should guide the eventual drawdown while ensuring that gains made in the violence-prone provinces are secured on a firmer footing first so as to avoid any reversal. Strengthening of state authority, security organs, and justice institutions is also equally important. The transition and eventual exit of MONUSCO needs to be gradual, responsible, and orderly. In closing, we commend the initiatives of the DRC leadership to address the existing challenges, including the security situation in the eastern region. We welcome the preparations of the next general elections and note the efforts made towards an inclusive democratic framework. India has long-standing relations with the DRC. We recall with immense satisfaction our contribution to protect its territorial integrity in March 1961 during the Katanga province crisis. Going forward, we remain committed to playing our part in supporting the people of the DRC on their path towards securing lasting peace, stability, and prosperity. Thank you. I will now resume my duties as President of the Council.